April 25th, 1945. Unknowingly, they are witnessing the final days of war in Europe. On that day, the US Army and the Soviet Army met for the first time on German soil at the Elbe River. At the same time, the Soviet Army encircled Berlin and began its assault on the city. At the air bases in England, fighter planes and heavy bombers took off on the final full-scale mission of the 8th Air Force during the Second World War. It was mission number 968. A total of 589 bombers, B-24 Liberators and B-17 Flying Fortresses, and 486 fighters participated in this final heavy bomber mission. 307 B-17 Flying Fortresses attacked the airfield and the Skoda armaments factory in Pilsen, Czechoslovakia, in today's Czech Republic. The 384th Bomb Group assigned 43 aircraft to that mission. One of them was Suite Chariot, serial number 4338501, an aircraft of the 546 Bomb Squadron. According to the mission report of the 384th Bomb Group, there was no enemy fighter activity during any part of the mission. The only enemy activity came from flak at the target area, described as moderate to intense and accurate, between 10:54 and 10:56 hours. Several B-17s were hit and damaged by flak. All of them landed safely at Allied airfields, except one. Suite Chariot, piloted by Second Lieutenant Andrew G. Lovett and his crew, failed to return. They reported over VHF, 3 engines out, 10 minutes from friendly lines, and said that he was going to try and make lines. Suite Chariot didn't make it. They crash-landed near the German border, in the vicinity of Albersdorf, today called Pisarowa Westche, approximately 58 kilometers or 36 miles west of Pilsen. Missing Aircrew Report number 14317 includes the statement by Second Lieutenant Lovett, who evaded capture. It reads: "We got hit by flak approximately 5 minutes after we dropped our bombs. We received 3 good hits. The first knocked out number 3 engine and started a fire in the number 2 engine. The second hit knocked out number 1 and number 4 engines. The third burst wounded the Navigator and knocked out all our instruments. We started to drop fast, so decided to bail the crew out at approximately 1500 feet. The crew bailed out north of Albersford, and the co-pilot and myself circled Albersdorf and landed on a heading of 90 degrees right in the middle of the town, on a hillside. We left the aircraft immediately for a fear of it blowing up, and we took off into the woods. About 10 minutes later, we went back to the scene of the crash to see if we could get any equipment. However, when we came pretty close to the plane, we saw Wehrmacht personnel in the vicinity, and we did not proceed any further. However, all secret equipment in the ship had been destroyed." The tail gunner, Staff Sergeant Milton J. Haney, who also evaded capture, added his statement to the same report. "I was in the waist position, throwing out everything I could get my hands on. The ball turret gunner, Sergeant Garney, looked at me and said, 'Bail out.' We all went into the bomb bay, and guess we were all pretty scared. I just snuggled down in the bomb bay and dove out, pulling the ripcord immediately, which gave me a little shock. I looked around and saw the ship making a 180-degree turn in the opposite direction. I also saw 4 other men come out of the ship, but did not see their tubes open. Just about that time, I hit the ground. I saw no more of the aircraft." The co-pilot, Second Lieutenant Stanley F. Kloss, also evaded capture. All 3 men returned to duty, only to learn that it had been the final mission of the 8th Air Force. The rest of the crew was captured and became POWs during the final days of the war. Sweet Chariot was the last aircraft lost by the 384th Bomb Group during World War II. In total, the 8th Air Force lost 6 B-17s that day. The 15th Air Force lost 3 more during their mission to Linz, Austria. If you value preserving history, help keep these stories alive. Subscribe, comment or share, and be part of the remembrance.